Very good evening to our viewers wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon. This is Punchline Africa Television, and the show is Diplomatic Leaks. We are coming to you live from Nairobi, Kenya. And of course, today we are going to discuss the contentious issue of Saharawi Arab Democratic Republic, which has been dragging from 1976 when the Spanish colonial rule gave them the independence. But ever since, we've been having a push and pull between the Polisario Front, which has been claiming its independence, and later on we had Mauritania, Morocco in 1976, also now annexing this part of the African country. And later on we had some kind of consensus, some peace agreement between Mauritania and the Polisario Front now leaving Morocco, and in a scenario where Morocco went ahead to take the part that had been taken over by Mauritania. And this has been dragging back and forth. And in the year 1992, we had prospects of having a referendum to declare whether or not Sahrawi should be an independent country. But ever since, Morocco has been playing the game of cat and mouse with this issue. And eventually we saw the other day President Donald Trump recognizing the sovereignty of Morocco over this country. On the panel, I'm joined by Jared Onyari, who is in Nairobi. I'm also joined with Musa Abdi Haji in Isiolo, my good brother Douglas Krimi Bundi, and Jevan Karanja. I'll be starting with you, Professor Jared Onyari. You have been involved in this issue of Sahrawi. What is your take on matter of independence? Is it a time where Kenya should come forth and stand with this particular country in determining its sovereignty?
Yeah, thank you, Daniel Wesonga, for giving me the opportunity to talk about Western Sahara, the Sahara Arab Democratic Republic. And it is very key to me, Daniel. I believe in the struggle, and that's what makes me to be part of Western Sahara. The issue of Western Sahara, Daniel, is about self-determination. And when it comes to self-determination, Daniel, whether you are my friend, we part. People should be given an opportunity to decide how they want to be governed. Gone are those days, Daniel, and you know, Western Sahara is the last colony in Africa. And the most unfortunate thing, Daniel, that most of the people do not know, simply because we have not made enough noise for them to realize that Western Sahara is still under the colonial of the Kingdom of Morocco. How did I come to get associated with Morocco and eventually started the Kenya Western Sahara Friendship Society? In the course of my international attending conferences in Europe and in Asia, I came to realize that the Western Sahara is the last colony in Africa. And in fact, I regretted, as exposed as I was, that I was to go outside the continent of Africa to realize that. It happened in the year 2011. I went to attend the conference of the Communist Party of South Africa and the 16th Festival for the Youth Democratic Festival. And there I could see the Sahrawi people, the Sahrawi youth and the Moroccan youth, they can literally fight in the conference room. And the Moroccan youths were sent back in the following day to get out of South Africa. So when I came home, I started finding out what is Western Sahara, and I got in contact with the Algerian embassy, which has hosted these people for the last 7 years. Daniel, I've been to the refugee camps, I've been to Western Sahara itself. You cannot imagine that other human beings can mistreat people. For 46 years, the people went to the exile. Daniel, children have been born. They have become fathers and they have become grandfathers. Still in the desert, I'm talking about the Sahara Desert, where the temperatures are 46 to 50. You can imagine. And the people are in the refugee camps and the world is seated. This is how it happens. Western Sahara was under the Spanish people, as you rightly put it. And when they were struggling for the independence, in fact, their grandfather of the current king was supportive of the Sahrawi people because Morocco was colonized by France. Mm-hmm. So they continued struggled, Morocco got its independence, and the Sahrawi continues getting their independence because in 1975, do you know what the Spanish people did? They decided to split that country instead of adding that country to the Sahrawi people. To the north, they gave Morocco, the south, the Mauritanians were given, but the Sahrawi people continued struggling for the independence of their country. And when people want independence, Daniel, there's nothing you can do because they want the independence of their country. There's nothing you can do. It is a matter of time Western Sahara will have their independence. We have got that spirit because we believe in the struggle. So 1979, the Mauritanians said, oh my guys, look here, have your country. And Morocco has continuous insisting that Western Sahara is part of it. In 1988, there was a resolution of the United Security Council, Resolution 621. They say they need to appoint a representative to Western Sahara. And 1991, under Resolution 690, they say the establishment of a mission for a referendum of Western Sahara. From 1991 up to this point in time, the Moroccans cannot agree for the people of Western Sahara to decide, do they want autonomy or not autonomy? Which was this matter, do I need to insult him? I've celebrated the Sabbath, I need not do it. Because this man who started about grants, right. he hosted the ambassador for Morocco the other day, the deputy president, out of ignorance. He goes and tells people that he's supposed to autonomy. We were under the colonial yoke of the British people, and you know what it means when they can tell you that you are there to be seen, not to be heard. I forgive me because he was doing it out of ignorance, and because you know Morocco gives him better, and you know who our deputy president is. So let me just give the other panelists what they said. So the referendum has not been carried up to now. What do you know what the people have done? The Moroccans are just pushing people to the south. But what I want to tell you, what belongs to you is yours. The young people of Moroccans and the human rights have said, no, guys, the South and Western Sahara have its independence. Daniel, I have attended the conference with the Western Sahara people and the youth. I have addressed them. I have even addressed the late president, Abdulaziz, a very fine man. He was giving me that it's a matter of time that they will get independence. He died, but he has handed over the baton because we believe in our struggle. What I'm trying to say, the young people are getting impatient. They are telling these old men, no, we cannot wait for more than 30 years that we can go for the referendum. The question was, we were discussing, why must Kenya support Sahrawi independence? It need to support the Sahrawi independence because it is the right thing to do. So the embassy was opened here in Kenya in the year 2000. I don't want to tell you what happened. Living in a terrible country, and I always tell you that corruption will destroy this country. It's a cancer. So when NAC came in, it was an excitement, and they wanted to do the other thing. Oh yes, the embassy. Again, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, who was then Tuchu, he again decided to close the embassy in the year 2005. But those of us who are privy to what is happening, we have continued to struggle. And I want to thank God that what happened in this country is to have the new Constitution 2010, which Section 2, Verse 7 says that any international convention and treaties makes part of our Constitution. We added to petition, went to the Parliamentary Foreign Affairs Military and Foreign Committee, and their embassy was opened in 2014. Their ambassador is here. A while ago, I spoke to him, and he is very supportive. What am I saying is this? The agenda of Western Sahara has been on the table of United Nations Security Council. it is high time it is dispensed. But do you know why it cannot be dispensed? In the Western, in the Canaries, those are the good fishing grounds. And most of their fish is finding its way to Europe. But most countries in Europe have said no, even UK is very supportive. Do you know why America cannot support Western Sahara? Western Sahara is rich in phosphate, which is very good fertilizer. But we have to struggle. We have to struggle. Whether the rights of the deputy president will go on and support autonomy, that is not. Let the people of Western Sahara be given an opportunity to decide, do you want an autonomy or independence? The self-determination, you know how it is key to you, Daniel. So to me, and I'm grateful for my comrade, Dr. Masanga, and may God bless you for giving us the opportunity to penetrate on this issue. Kenya, we cannot sit because in the year 1983-84, when our late President Daniel Arap Moi was the chairman for Organization for African Union, and he was the one who was for 2 years, a decision was made here for Western Sahara to be recognized, and Morocco decided to walk away out of it. For 27, it came the other day, and that's why you can see the beast bodies and meeting the ambassador of Western Sahara to say that autonomy. So what we want to say is this: when it comes to self-determination of Western Sahara, let us not even have a discussion. There is no negotiation. Let the people of Western Sahara be given an opportunity to decide what they want whether they want independence or not self-autonomy. That is the way to go. And Kenya, the only way is to support the independence of Western Sahara. We were colonized. We know how it feels. While Morocco is on wrong, they know who was struggling to chase away the Spanish. If indeed Western Sahara was for Morocco, why were the Spanish chasing away? Why were the Saharawi chasing the Spanish as the Moroccans were fighting for the French? That country does not belong to you. It will never belong to you. It belongs to Saharawi, and that they will fight. And those of us who believe in the struggle, we will support Western Sahara. I submit, Daniel.
Yes, thank you, Professor Jared Onyari. And to our viewers who don't know, Professor has been at the forefront on the Saharawi Morocco issue for quite a long time, and he is a conflict resolution expert. Now, moving on forward, I see we are joined by Professor Joseph Nyanchama. Before I come to you, Douglas, I'll just want Dr. Nyanchama to give us his opening remarks on the same. We see from Professor's submission, a number of, actually in the year 2000, over 80 African states recognized Sahrawi as an independent state, but later majority of them came to rescind on the earlier opinion of declaring it, recognizing it as a sovereign state. And we saw the other day, the USA actually also recognized Morocco's sovereignty upon Sahrawi as being part of Morocco. And these are statements that did not go well with Russia. Russia came on and said that actually gone against the international law by declaring Sahrawi as part of Morocco. What is your take on this, Professor Nyanchama? Are global politics also acting as a hindrance towards the independence of the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic?
Thank you, Sen. Thank you, Mr. Karanja, for this opportunity. First of all, from my end, it's good that my fellow panelists, each one of you has a destiny that you want to reach. Similarly, the Sahrawi people, if they are determined to pursue a route that will guarantee them their self-determination, then they must be supported. Remember, from my end, I speak, I'm very passionate about people living their full potential. In fact, my mission is to transform the latent energy of the Kenyan people and others in the rest of the world into active energy to enable them live a fulfilled life.
All right.
Going by my mission, I'm prepared to stand by the Sahrawi people for self-determination. Remember, as Professor said, in 1984, AU passed a resolution to recognize Saharawi as an independent. After 30 years, remember at that moment, Morocco quit from AU, isn't it?
Yes.
And they came back after 30 years. Let me now speak from the Christian perspective. Morocco is like a prodigal son who came back in 2017. If you come back as a prodigal son, having realized your mistake, then you do not start a new war about the Saharawi independence. Because why they quit in 1984 is because they were not agreeable with the AU resolution. Now that they came back, it is evident they are reviewing their stand on the dissent about the resolution. I think they came back with a mischief intention of going back to whip certain interests to support their cause. And this must be condemned. And the Saharawi people must be supported to achieve their self-determination. No human being can prevent another to achieve his full potential.
Oh, yes.
If the path in which the Western Sahara are passing to achieve their full potential, they must be supported by any sane person. You know, you hear people getting different opinion and they belong to the same country. In fact, I do not know Dr. Masanga here is a top diplomat. He knows. There are 4 things applicable to an ambassador. Because any person commenting on foreign issues must understand what is applicable to an ambassador. Number 1, an ambassador does not give his own personal opinion. Haven't you seen even our local leaders giving opinion? You don't give opinion on foreign matters. You articulate the policy of your government.
Oh, yes.
Number 2, which is applicable to an ambassador is a personification of a nation. When you speak as a leader of a nation, it means you have a mandate to represent the views of that nation. That is why if you slap me as Mr. Nyanchama, in a court of law, it is called an assault. If you slap an ambassador, legally, it is never called an assault. It is called a national instant. Therefore, anybody commenting on matters bordering on foreign policy must comment on the precinct of that government policy. Otherwise, you see people giving opinion. This is not local politics. They are weight matters. Number 3, an ambassador does not pay for anything. That is why we pay a lot of privileges to our leaders so that they are comfortable to pursue critical matters like that of Saharawi. Number 4, an ambassador is never elected, but nominated. Therefore, the person who is qualified to comment on foreign policy issues is either the president or the ambassador appointed or through the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Any other person, however superior it is, must do so with the permission of the chief diplomat, who is the president. So, I wonder sometimes, we need knowledge. Dr. Masanga, you have a lot of work to teach people on diplomacy and other related issues. Wesonga, I submit.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Joseph Nyanchama. They are saying that the question of independence of Saharan Arab Democratic Republic does not have to be debated on. I therefore hand over the reins to the chairman, Pan-African Forum Limited, Dr. Matsanga David, to take over the conversation to Douglas Musa and Javan Karanja. Dr. Matsanga, over to you.
Thank you very much, viewers, wherever you are. I am sorry I was interrupted my internet because of the cold weather wherever I am. It brought an uncoordinated troop movement. But at the same time, we are here. Let us go back to the point, very clear. I grew up knowing very well Sahawaris are human beings. The etymology of Sahara means the desert belongs to these guys. The inhabitants of Sahara, of a desert called Sahara. They are not half Europeans. They are not half French. They are not half anything. They are Saharawi. These guys deserve their country. I'm not going to go into longer history. Professors brought it out. I have been in several meetings. I have sat with Saharawi delegations, members. They know me by face. The late president was my friend, a great friend. Whenever he sees me in AU, he texts me, let's go for coffee. You have something which we don't have. Let me come back to your point. Why I brought this topic. Ruto. There's Zawari. Look, the question here is very clear. Musa, Douglas, Garanja, wherever you are, and Swesonga, Professor and Nachama, the stupidity of a deputy president calling himself Ruto, a deputy president of Kenya. He wants money. He wants money for campaign. Don't beat about the bush. Tell the truth. Ruto can kill you over money. And it is high time, if God forbid, some people must be pointed out. Ruto and Ahmed Grandi Mula went for a holiday in Morocco. Intelligence of this country, I understand why we are getting into confusion of our foreign policy. I'm not going to lie down and talk rubbish when the man who brought us to talk about this topic today is Dr. William Ruto, who is on the paper of the Star newspaper, not supporting the African Union position, not supporting Uhuru Kenyatta position. He has taken his wrong position because of money. It is money. Ruto is money. There is no governance. And I pity you Kenyans. If you ever vote William Ruto, you will be voting yourself to Indian Ocean. You will be sold very early in the morning. It is money. The Moroccan ambassador buys everybody. Morocco buys everybody in Africa. Morocco is another colonial master buying every reasonable voice in Africa, using the money that they have looted. I was one of the few people who never liked Morocco ever to return to African Union. But because of the French and because of, these are the people behind the current problem of Morocco policy and the Saharawi. Don't beat about the bush, nyenye. What Kenyans? Look at the professor and this one beating about the bush. You are grand people. Muna beat about the bush. Atafanya nini? What will he do? What? He's finished. Huyu kwisha. 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 Niliwaambia nyenye, you thought I was a liar. Musa Abidi, when I'm talking, look at my eyes. Angalia mimi. Niliwaambia wewe nini? This guy is finished. I told you on this television that before Fatou Bensouda leaves, didn't I say to Douglas Kirimi? Douglas Kirimi Wesonga Musa Gerard Onyari. Didn't you hear my voice? I said, before Fatou Bensouda leaves, he will leave someone dangling in that court. Kenyans called me elephant, hippopotamus. He did the big eyes, big fat stomach, big legs, foreigner, refugee. Now the pudding is coming home. Now the chicken are roosting. The chicken are roosting back home, Onyari. This is a finished guy. He can even support Morocco 2 million times, but he will not support him very soon. The strategy that the woman in the ICC has developed is very strategic. It's very strategic that his lawyer called Karim Khan might resign on the first day of being handed over power. Don't play with men who have gone to school, who never studied the plants. Never play with a man who studied political science, and never play with a man who studied law. Those are the most dangerous people on planet Earth. So show me another one. Show which department. Everybody who studied even the business administration, like my professor, doctor here, he has to study a bit of mechanisms of international law and local politics in order to survive. So if you think you are going to control the international intelligence systems, you are dead. Ruto is finished. Is finished. Ruto is finished. That's why he's reaching out to Raila. But Raila's influence over Fatou Bensouda is also diminished. In fact, Fatou Bensouda could even turn and say, you want to pressurize me. She's not going to leave that court without Ruto. All of you read the newspaper today, the elaborate plans of how the man eliminated the people. This is not ICC anymore. This is pure murder. Am I wrong, Kirimi? Musa, am I wrong? Professor, am I wrong? This guy, Dr. Nyachama, he looks for money. It is money that is bringing Kenyatta into the disrepute of international community. Kenya is a member of the United Nations Security Council. Kenya is a member of Afro-Caribbean organization, the chairperson. Kenyatta is a member, a chairman of Peace Security Council of African Union. When Ambassador Kamau, the permanent representative in New York, addressed the meeting on Sahara, Saharawi, Western Sahara, he said letting military tensions between the Kingdom of Morocco and the Saharawi Republic. President Uhuru Kenyatta on 9th of March chaired a virtual meeting of the African Peace Security Council that called for immediate cessation of hostilities and called for a ceasefire to allow resumption of peace talks on the future of Western Sahara. It says the PSC, which is a committee in charge of peace security council in African Union, that the continued conflict in Western Sahara was inconsistent with the AU decisions and the resolutions. How does the Deputy President of Kenya come to contradict the chairperson of African Union, Peace and Security Council? The Deputy President on 23rd March last month, while meeting the ambassador of Kenya, Okta Gabu, appeared to hold a different view. He said, he further noted that Kenya and Morocco are leading powers in their regions and said their bilateral cooperation will benefit the whole continent. Did he ask the Foreign Affairs Ministry on what position Kenya has taken on Morocco-Saharawi relationship? The answer is no. He said, Western Sahara question has been a continuous issue, and Morocco recalled its ambassador to Kenya for consultation over the matter in June 2005. Rabat, and these are the details, you will know there has been in and out. Kenya has been very firm. It has stood very firm. It has kept away the embassy of Morocco out of this country. We have people who want money, who are bringing this embassy. Morocco has become a neo-colonial agency on the African Union. I want to tell you why. In 2014, of select Amina Mohammed as the chairperson of African Union. Total Oil, through a Moroccan woman who is a mistress of one president in Africa, who is the side dish of a President X in Africa, paid almost every African head of state except President Uhuru Kenyatta, President Mugabe, and the President Kagame. I swear in the name of God, the woman paid, the Moroccan woman, a mistress of a president on this continent. I want to say the name because I have the video, the gymnastics, the operations. I don't speak without facts. I speak when I have something I will produce. And let the court decide if I'm wrong. When we went to select Amina Mohammed as the AU chairperson, this is the first time in my life that I added more anger to a country called Morocco. Morocco paid for Sheraton Hotel. The Ethiopian intelligence, my commander, my fellow commander, who was with me in London 87, 88, 89, the Director General of Intelligence of the the Republic of Ethiopia, great guy, great friend of mine. We gathered all this information, how Morocco that woman from Total Oil came to Addis Ababa and bought all the delegates except 3 presidents on African Union, 3 countries on African Union, namely Uhuru Kenyatta was not paid. Kenya was not paid because Kenya was a candidature. Kagame was not paid. Ethiopia was not paid because they remained resolute. They wanted this neutrality. The rest of the foreign minister, I intercepted. I caught Zimbabwe's former minister of foreign affairs, Simbarache, taking new notes of 50,000, new notes of United States dollars. Because I was going to meet President Mugabe in Sheraton Hotel. I was going up to meet Mugabe. He had called me. But then I saw Zimbabwe foreign minister to say hi, even if he doesn't want to say hi. I found the Moroccan diplomat. They didn't see me coming. He had a briefcase open with the money. And then they closed the briefcase quickly. Then I pretended, let me leave you to finish. I sat as an investigator, sat from the corner. The man pulled out the money and I gave this. The guy put the money in the jacket. The Minister of Foreign Affairs of Zimbabwe called Dr. Simbarache Mbebegwe. I went upstairs and I told him, Mugabe, Your Excellency, we have a problem. Mugabe said, don't you want to share it now? I said, no, Your Excellency. In fact, as I talked, tears were about to come. I said, I can't manage this, but I will put it in writing for you through the normal channels, Mr. President. I came out. I came and found Aden Duale and the Kenyan delegation. They are here, they are still alive. I told the Kenyan delegation to go upstairs and tell President Uhuru Kenyatta, we have lost the battle. We have lost. It is me who got the information and I gave it to President, to the Kenyan delegation. Rotich was there. Aden Mohammed was there. Aden Duale was there. This woman who was an ambassador in Mogadishu, a royal woman in Kantakaras, what is her name? Ambassador, the lady, he talks too much, you know her. You should know her, she's from Uruya. She was there. At that time, the PS of Foreign Affairs was none other than Monica Juma. I did not want to speak to her because we don't speak. I want to tell you the truth on this show. We don't speak. And I don't want to tell you why I don't speak to her. It is a longer story that involves the ICC and other things. How I was arrested with books at AU in Addis Ababa with documents at midnight going to save Uhuru Kenyatta. And the people left me to be arrested, to be detained by intelligence of Ethiopia. I've never forgotten, I've never forgiven some people when I see them enjoying the fruits of Uhuru Kenyatta. But God will pay. God will pay. God will pay. God will pay. This God I pray will always pay. I kept off. I came. I told Adan Idwale. I told the chairman of the Foreign and Defense Committee, who was the 10th member of Parliament. Githinji, who? Somebody, you know his name. The MP for Tetu. I told them, go upstairs and tell the president, we have lost. I found the truth. I took pictures. It is me who took pictures of the lady who is the mistress of a president on the African continent. I don't want to tell you the name, but one day Kirimi will find out. Who president anamkula side dish. It is the same woman who has caused all the problems we see in Tanzania today. This woman is from Morocco, and the French national, the owner of Total Oil, wanamkura, they eat this woman inside. She even sits in the cabinet. Wanamkura side dish. Africa, we lost. I have the video. That woman had breakfast. She had breakfast with Faki Muhammad Faki. Dr. Faki Muhammad Faki. The Toro guy of African Union. They bought the AU. All the planes of the president, including Zuma. His parking lot was paid by Morocco. His room was paid by Morocco. On the 3 presidents on the African continent. Aha! 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 You see that picture there? I was there. I was fighting for Kenya. I was not fighting for my country. I was fighting for a good Africa. From that day, we lost that election. Actually, Balala was there. Eden Idwale was there. We lost that election, not because Amina was not capable. Amina lost that election because Morocco bought every delegate, including exhibit. Immediately, I like some, you know, I like some presidents on the continent. And let me tell you this, Kirimi, then you can know I'm a bad bulldozer than you. Dangerous. I reached Nairobi, I wrote 1 page with a photograph of Simbarashe Munagagwe Mubembeku with the Moroccan diplomat at Sheraton. My pen is not here today. You know it, very powerful. It takes a distance. Even I can take where Musa is, can tell you where he is. I got the picture very clear. I handed over the picture with 1 page of explanation to Mugabe. Mugabe the following morning sacked Simbarashe Mbabeku and replaced Simbarashe Mbebeku with Walter Muzembe. Haven't I worked? Isn't that Africa?
That is Africa we need.
Yes, play with me here. Play with me. Play with me. Let me also be like a trolley. Play with me. Joke with me. I told Ruto, you might remain in that court. Tomorrow is going to be the biggest subject of our discussion at 2 p.m. Don't miss this. You even call the witnesses using land phones which have been captured. So how will you say it is not your voice? How will Karim Khan help you? How? Now you are going into other dirty waters of meeting Moroccan ambassador. AU position is clear, bringing Uhuru Kenyatta to firefighting diplomacy. What the hell? What the hell? What type of people are these? What is this, man? There are some African countries that you talk and people listen. What is this? People want money. This guy is dry of money. Uganda is not giving any money. Museveni said the money that is there remains there. Have you had another story? Oh my God. Oh my God. La 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 la. The money which is there, Kirimi, la 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 la. Ala la la ala. The man says it is not coming one penny. Why did you bring it here? You know, I like Museveni at the time. I know Kirimi doesn't want to hear that. But at the time, Museveni acts very well. When you're a thief, you can't come and play about with Museveni. He's a very clever man. Some people should follow the history. Museveni did not go to the bush when he was rich. Don't tell us that you want to behave like Museveni. Museveni went to the bush when he was very poor. I used to buy coffee with Salim Saleh and all of us, all these men, these guys you see, Kagame, all of us, we used to share coffee in Speak Hotel with Museveni before he went to the bush. Because he was the chairman, the deputy chairman of military commission. I was there. This face you see, it's not a lie. Even the day he left to go to the bush, I paid a very high price, which I've never said to anybody. He left the bush with a man called Victor Wana, who was my officer in the UPC headquarters. And Victor Wana stole my files, all the files. He was an agent of Museveni. He stole all the files. In the morning, I found the whole place, all intelligence files were taken. I was put on a very, do you know what I suffered? I've never told you. And I will not say it here. May God hold my hand again. Obote was not amused that all the files of intelligence had disappeared with a man who was in our office called Victor Wana. But I asked the president one question. When we told you that Museveni was leaving that night, Mr. President, didn't you tell us he's our younger man? We shall talk to him. He said, go and release them to go away. That's the life. So if you don't know, don't say much. If you know, say what you know. The situation, therefore, of Sahara, Western Sahara, Kenya has put its stand very clear. The story is coming out tomorrow. And when the story comes out tomorrow, it is already out. I think you have read the story, all of you, isn't it? It's a headline on Monday. Very big headline. it shows, it goes to show that His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta still has got plenty of work to do in his cabinet. Ruto is not with him. Ruto will not be with him. Ruto will always undermine him. And he's going further to embarrass him. Recently, he brought a chemical from Russia, displayed with a Russian shirt, a Russian flag. Kenyans did not notice the Russian flag. Matanga, who knows in Russian everything in the world, I told you that is a Russian flag, which was dressed very nicely to orchestrate money. All these things are being done for money, such that they can give him some money to survive. You get my point? To beg Russian diplomats, I will be in the government tomorrow, tell Russia to support me. But some things come slowly, but pinch faster. Onyadi knows. I don't want to finish the rest of the show without other people contributing. I now call upon Musa, Haji, then Kirimi. Next, then we come to our parting shots. Saharawi suffers. Let's now concentrate on, from the background that the professor has given us, let's come back to Kenya. Where did we find, where did the rain start beating us, Musa? And I'm sure that people you don't really like to know, to hear their names, again, they are here, going to disturb your night, tonight as you sleep. Thank you.
Thank you, Daktari. And to my humble submission, Daktari, I've heard you, I've heard Professor Nyari, I've heard Dr. Nyanchama on these. And, you know, when we speak about, I would like to tackle this agenda of the Sahrawi people from the foreign factors point of view, Daktari. And just to give the comparative analysis of what has been happening as far as issues of territorial and, you know, rule to self-determination is concerned, we've come a long way as an African continent. The same issue has been happening, Daktari, with the Tuaregs, who has been seeking for the state and the self-determination they call Aitam in their name, the Azawad state. These are people who are living between the Niger, to the northern, they live in the part of Mauritania and Senegal. And now coming to the issue of Sahrawi, Daktari, first of all, I'm shocked that a deputy head of the state, someone who has not been granted any international power to represent Kenya on issues of foreign policy, on issues of foreign conversation in the international system, can come out so audible to speak about granting the autonomy of Morocco over the Western Sahara region. It's shocking, and if indeed there is the spirit of Pan-Africanism William Ruto is looking for, then he's looking for it at the wrong place. Secondly, going directly to the foreign powers, Daktari, there is what we call the owners of this world. People who control, people have a say as far as geopolitics, sharing of resources, and what we call it in political science, bipolar politics is concerned. And that is United States of America and European Union. Daktari, in this perspective, United States of America, Donald Trump, when he was leaving office, he signed and he urged and pressured Moroccan government, and he told them, I'm going to support your autonomy over Western Sahara so that you are going to reestablish and normalize relation with the state of Israel. And Trump did that because that was the policy which was reversed by Obama administration, which said we are going to go for recognizing the stakeholders in this conflict. And Obama recognized Algeria. Obama recognized the Polisario Front as the parties in this conflict. But Donald Trump came and deteriorated everything, and he said, normalize relations with Israel, and I'm going to recognize your autonomy over Western Sahara. And unfortunately, what African Union have been doing, you've spoken about. I was not born during the time of Daniel Torotich Arap Moi, Organization of African Union. Now we are in Organization of African Unity. Now we are in AU. My thinking has been there are two foreign factors who have been silent on this. The European Union and the Arab League. They have been silent negatively. When I speak about the European Union, the other day they were granted fishing rights by Morocco illegally in the western side of Sahara at the Atlantic Ocean for them to have a fishing right in the area. And yet when it comes to recognizing the legitimacy and the autonomy of the Polisario Front, which controls 20% of Western Sahara, they are silent. Let's come to Arab League. Arab League are other people who have been really silent on this because they know what they have been doing. We know the interest of Saudi Arabia in this as far as, issues of oil and issues of controlling the region is concerned. We know the input of state-sponsored terrorism. The other day, 2 Italians were killed in the region, and there had been some reported presence of Al-Qaeda-linked group in the region. And this mutation of foreign factors has really brought a lot of confusion, let me say, in the international system. And Daktari, I know, and I really recognize President Uhuru Kenyatta, and I support him. First, for the role he played, that it is just 2 weeks away that a new consulate is going to be opened in Somaliland, Hargeisa. President Uhuru Kenyatta has been taking long enough to recognize, positive enough in that he has been continuing with what President Moi has been doing as far as recognizing Western Sahara as an autonomous and independent state. So I know there is nothing we can do as far as this is concerned because AU, in the face of these people who own the world in the name of veto powers, I know AU is silent as far as this is concerned. Because when it comes to issues of unity, the Arabian world, the Northern Africa, they tend to take themselves as Arabs and not more as Africans when it comes to issues of aligning ourselves to African issue. Dr. You remember very well how Amina Mohammed was betrayed in the favor of Chad Guy, African chairperson, position, which you've really spoken about in detail. So I'm not expressing any hope how I wish today we could recognize and we give every autonomy, every recognizing Layun as the capital city for Western Sahara, but there is nothing we can do. Because what I can see, we are not losing hope, but African Union is not as united as it is used to be. There are only 3 people who are on the same table when it comes to African Union. Uhuru Kenyatta, Paul Kagame, and a bit of Ramaphosa. Others are people who can be bought. Others are people who are not reliable. To make it worse is that whatever is happening currently, it will be very hard for Joe Biden to reverse the decision. He is not going to talk about that. And I believe Joe Biden is going to support what Donald Trump has done, because the other day Sudan was pressured to normalize its relation with Israel. And so United States of America's stand is to support Morocco because now they have normalized the relation with Israel. How I wish the same could be done with the recognition of two-state solution with Palestine. It's something which has been happening. So to my Deputy President, William Ruto, shut up, keep off. You know nothing about West Sahara. You know nothing about issues of Islamic geopolitics. You know nothing about terrorism and state-sponsored terror. What is happening in Western Sahara is very simple. But here is William Ruto. I have failed to understand what kind of a deputy president is William Ruto. Do you have a foreign policy advice? Do you have someone who can tell you about African issue? I dare even to ask him about what is happening in Cameroon today, and he will not know even what is happening.
He doesn't even know. He doesn't know. He does not even know.
The other day I spoke about.
He not even know the history when Paul Biya became the president. How can he even know what Cameroon is? He doesn't know.
The other day, Daktari, what William Ruto is not aware, and I spoke and I told you about Ahmed Abdel Nasser. I told you about Ahmed Abdel Nasser, and people have been taking me lightly. And I'm even sending my warning again to that Deputy National Security Advisor called Fatuma Gedi, the committee advisor in the parliament. These are not the people to be trusted with national security of this country. So, Deputy President, my humble submission to you, no one is going to recognize you because you are trying to betray the kind of blueprint which was even put in place by the United Nations Security Council, as Professor Onyari has put it. So, Daktari, my frustration is maybe African Union can lobby. I know lobbying in African geopolitics is very new. No African government have employed the power of lobby organization and lobby groups. It's a very expensive venture. I know. I don't think any African state are good in, they don't have lobby groups. It's only in Europe.
You are very right. You are right.
Israel is good at that, Daktari. In United Kingdom Parliament, they are good at that. When the agenda of boycotting Israeli product is there, lobby groups, they are given lump sum of money. These are people who understand the system and they negotiate. But Africa, we don't have that.
If you introduce, Mr. Not to cut you short, if you introduce lobby group in Kenya, some officials will call you and call you names. Have you seen?
Yeah.
Me have been called names for being very forefront on ICC. You saw.
But Daktari, in international relations, I understand the importance of lobby group, Daktari. I have studied them very closely.
Exactly. If you don't have lobby, you're zero.
Lobby groups influenced the flow of Vietnam War. Lobby groups influenced the outcome of Iraqi war. Lobby group influenced the Brexit war. They influenced in a greater way. Boris Johnson employed, he was giving them thousands of dollars, people talking to the system. So, Dr. My humble submission is, let us look to Asia, let us look to the Latina, and we tell them, we lobby to these subcontinents. Let us revive what you used to call redemption strategy under the auspices of non-aligned movement, Daktari. That is the only way I can see the Western Sahara question being revived. Because we cannot go alone as an African Union here. We have a good relation with our Asian tigers in Asia. Singapore, they are neutral, they are good people. Indonesia, I love them. Philippines, Duterte, you know him very well. He's direct with the drug war. He is no nonsense. He has even withdrawn from the Rome Statute, Daktari. So my humble submission is, let us invest in lobby group. Let us have mouthpiece in Latina and in Asia so that this subcontinent can merge and confront European Union and confront United States of America as far as this is concerned. And that is the only way we can overcome the Arabian League, we can overcome the European Union, and we can overcome the United States of America in giving the indelible required right of the people of Saharawi their autonomous independence, Dr.
Thank you. I hope the government of Kenya is listening. I hope the Minister of Foreign Affairs is listening. I hope His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta will get a glimpse of this video. I hope our energy is not energyless. One man on this show said, if you don't have resourcefulness, he's here on the show. He said the most important item of humanity is being resourceful. You can be a human being, but you are not resourceful, isn't it? Thank you very much, Dr. Nyanchama, you said it. Let me come to Douglas Kirimi. You said one day that if you are not resourcefulness, we don't have it in Africa. For example, we don't know there is need of a lobby. We know it, but it's Musa, we need to eat this money in Nairobi and buy apartments. Sorry. We need to buy apartments, Douglas. Thank you. Take it over, Douglas Kirimi. Do we have lobby groups? Musa has raised a very serious point. Do we really know what a lobby group is? How many lobby groups can lobby for Kenya? Why do you carry Jeff Koinange to go and interview Kenya Airways in New York, which is making a loss every year? What lobby is that? Chaplain Professor Gerard Okama, what lobby is that? I know what a lobby is. A lobby is the confrontation like a matanga. The way I go for people there, make noise. Make noise. Kirimi, you saw me making noise, fighting. People even calling me so many names. So I thought wanting to kill me. Yeah. Because I had to save my people. That's what an activist lobbyist is. You need to know your contacts. You can't touch Israel and go unattached. Yes, and they go unattached. You can't. They will take you down. They will look for you. Even if it means 200 years. Because they have lobby groups. Kirimi.
Thank you, Dr. Masanga. This brings me to the question of why would the government of Kenya pick a position on West Sahara issue, and then the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, like you have said, goes ahead and also backs up Morocco. This is an hybrid political conman who has been calling the people of Kenya, who wants to call even the people of Western Sahara their own identity, who wants to continue exercising his own political gerrymandering even to the people of Western Sahara. Today, 50 years later, 9 months later, 1 week later, 3 days later, the people of Western Sahara continue staying in isolation against the world. They want to be integrated to the world. But the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, an hybrid political chameleon who has been a very corrupt Deputy President here in the country, continues taking money from Morocco so that he can be able to speak against Western Sahara and their need to be able to have their own self-determination. And this is something that you cannot be able to take away from anyone. Yes, the marks of being integrated with Morocco after they disintegrate and become Western Sahara recognized internationally, and also the people of Morocco recognize mutually that the people of Western Sahara need to be self-determined, cannot be taken away from that. They cannot be taken away from that, but their right to be able to determine their fate on the way they shall go is up to them. But we have a very wrong Deputy President who goes out of his way, goes and starts fake street credibility and fake legitimacy to steal money, resources that are meant to better the people of Morocco, so that he can be able to rob it for Western Sahara to continue being subjected into Morocco when they don't want to. Deputy President William Ruto of the Republic of Kenya has become a person who has put greed and also power before everything else, Dr. Masanga. This is a man that has come out clearly to be a very greedy man, as he has shown true colors of a very greedy man. This is a man who wants even to go and steal the future of the children of Western Sahara. The people of Saharawi Republic today cannot have peace in their country. Their people are being exterminated. Their people cannot be able to have self-identity because the deputy president in Kenya wants to continue taking advantage of that and taking money so that he can become president in Kenya. It is the high time we called out the hypocrisy in Dr. William Ruto. Matters international issues, he needs to be able to leave the people of Western Sahara alone, to be able to determine their own fate. As far as our country is concerned, there are people who are displaced in post-elections in 2007 and 2008. Those people have not been compensated. Those people, some of them, their land has not been returned. Deputy President presides over Rift Valley as a tribal kingpin. He needs to be able to go back to Rift Valley, help the people of Kiambaa, where people were burnt in a church, to be able to rebuild their church 13 years later. The issue of Western Sahara is too early for him to be able to think about it. It is an issue of 50 years later. These people continue fighting for their own self-determination. The question is, are the people of Western Sahara out of their mind 50 years later, 9 months later, 1 week and 3 days later? Are they out of their minds? Dr. William Ruto should be able to shield his own selfish ambitions around and leave the people of Western Sahara to be able to go forward. The President of the Republic of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, has been able to pronounce himself on the same. The government of Kenya continuously over the years has been able to pronounce itself on matters Western Sahara. Why has the Deputy President changed his mind all of a sudden? It is money. The issue of the day, it is money. He follows where the money is, and no matter what. We saw like Dr. Masanga said, he even went to Russia, wore their flag as a shirt, and also took the Russian vaccine to be able now to make money for himself. A man that serves his own selfish agenda rather than his own country, a man that is in office illegally, a man who sponsors a battalion of parties so that he can be able to run with them, a man who belongs to UDA, a United Democratic Party, continues staying in Jubilee illegally, and also serving at the behest of the people of Kenya, serving and also taking Kenyans for a ride. Is a man who has even gone ahead to comment even on matters that he does not understand, matters of Western Sahara. People are refugees in their own country in Western Sahara. People have been denied an opportunity to be able to pronounce themselves and determine their fate as a people. The people of Western Sahara today are asking the United Nations to be able to call a UN mandated referendum for them to determine their way. But Dr. William Ruto picks money from Sahara. He is bought with money so that he can call man who should be able to be dealt with politically here in our country, so that we can deny him an opportunity to become a leader. He's a leader that can even jeopardize our own foreign policy and also even international relations, so that he can be able to feed his own selfish ambitions and also feed his own selfish and greedy thirst for money. Dr. Masanga, as I conclude my point, as the people of Kenya, we need to run from the utterances of Dr. William Ruto. You need to be able to leave poor people of Saharawi, the Western Sahara people. We need to leave them alone and give them an opportunity to be a people, to belong to their own country, which is not Morocco. We need to be able to give each other room, to be able to allow voices, alternative voices, and other perspectives to be able to grow and have an opportunity to grow. Dr. Masanga, as we conclude on the same, Dr. William Ruto should be able to desist from taking a position opposite of what the government has taken. He needs to get out of the government and speak from opposition, so that when he speaks, it cannot be deemed to be the government of Kenya that has spoken. Thank you, Dr. Masanga.
Thank you very much, viewers. Thank you very much. I don't know who is coming next, but
It's me.
It is who is coming next?
Yeah, I have a problem with the power. I need to make use of it before it goes off.
Okay, just you have 1 minute and a half to summarize.
Let me just have this to say that the first president for the Republic of Kenya, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, supported Western Sahara. Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi supported Western Sahara. Mwai Emilio Kibaki supported Western Sahara. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is supporting Western Sahara. That is the right thing to do. Continue doing it. We believe in the struggle. everything is on the side of Western Sahara. Even International Court of Justice have ruled that the Western Sahara belongs to Sahrawi people. We are in the struggle. And for avoidance of doubt, Dr. Masanga, look at my ribs, look at my face. The younger generation don't want even to wait even a single second for negotiation. They want to go for self-determination and decide which way to go. And the Deputy President William Ruto, please follow the government protocol. You are not in charge of foreign affairs. You are not the president of this country. And it is not good to contradict your boss. That's gross misconduct. And that's enough for him to be impeached, Dr. Masanga. I submit.
Thank you very much, Dr. Joseph Nachama. 1.5 minutes.
Thank you, Dr. You know, the football legend Pele's father, he found his father crying and he asked him, "Father, Daddy, why are you crying?" He said, "Brazil lost the football match." And the boy Pele told him, "Daddy, I am self-determined. One day I will wipe your tears." He was at the age of 10 years old. And at 17 years, my fellow panelists, through you, Dr. Masanga, Pele scored a goal for Brazil because he was self-determined. And to the Western Sahara people, I want to urge all leaders, the African people, save for Morocco, please stand by the Saharan people determination so that they are able to live their full potential. I'm very passionate on this issue because whenever I speak on full potential so that each person on this earth can achieve his or her destiny. In fact, where I come from, I think Professor can validate this. We have a saying which says, "Let a child play with the breasts of his mother, but not with the stones of his father." I don't know, Professor, what it means, and I don't want it to demean anyone. It simply means that sensitive issues must be taken seriously. Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, in fact, when he was rebuilding his country and the relation with other countries, he told his people and ministers, always isolate and depoliticize sensitive issues. And as a country, Kenya, in support of the West Saharan people, let us speak from a unitary position. And those who speak contrary to that are speaking their personal opinion, which is redundant. And I want to urge all African nations, please stand by the self-determination of these people and start a great success path for your African people. Dr. Masanga, let's pray for Western Sahara, and I submit.
Daniel Wesonga. Thank you very much, Dr. Joseph Nachama. A child, a child, a child, a child. You know, there is a lot of learning here, Kilini. A lot of hot words, very good political phrases coming out here. Doctor, before we go further, let's not lose that thought. What did you say? That a child, the child does what? A child who does not learn? I want to use it also some other time.
You know, it's where I come from. You know, it's like a proverb. There are matters that must be given the seriousness they deserve. That is why the proverb says that let a child play with the breasts of his mother, but not the stones of his father.
Yes,
You are an African.
I have understood.
Are you understanding?
Yes, Kirimi, my son, you have understood. Don't play with the stones of me.
Play with the breasts of your mother.
And we have a saying in my culture that a son who is ever told that who is told all the time never to use that route always finds the elephant on the route. Wesong, am I wrong?
You are very right.
A person who is told, please, 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 don't go when you are going for water, don't use that route. They say, no, mommy, it's quicker. The next time, during that time, you find a huge 7 feet elephant, high, and you are crushed. It doesn't talk to you. It just runs once. Elephants run very fast. So, Kirimi, don't touch my stones. Musa, Kirimi, Wesonga, don't touch the stones over the fire. Thank you, Wesonga.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Matsanga. And of course, indeed, this has been a very candid discussion from Dr. Matsanga, Professor Jared Onyari, Dr. Joseph Nyanchama, Douglas Kirimi, and my good friend Musa Abdihaji. And as a country, I would like to say that by holding divergent views of what the country holds on Saharawi, by going out there and giving an opinion contrary to what our diplomatic mission has given regards to Northern Sahara, the Deputy President has really embarrassed us on the international level, and he needs to be reprimanded. And even the Russian Federation, of which he has been seen to have a very close working relation with, does not agree in that Morocco should continue taking part of Northern Sahara as its sovereign state. So therefore, Dr. Matsanga, as I conclude, I say that a son brings a bad name to the community. And that is exactly what the Deputy President has done. And therefore, as Professor Jared Onyari has said, if he is not kept in check, he's going to embarrass us more, and he might bring a diplomatic tiff between Kenya and its neighbors, between Kenya and other foreign allies. And therefore, it is the rightful time for us to impeach the Deputy President. He has shown that he's a rogue Deputy President, and therefore he has no intention of working with his boss, who is President Uhuru Kenyatta. And that forms a very solid base for us to lobby for his impeachment. I submit, Dr. Matsanga.
Thank you very much. I got a text from a very high source in the world a few minutes ago. It has just come and says, High Chief, uko mzuri. If Ruto is to be removed, it has to be now. Otherwise, there is a risk of galvanizing him for defiance against his sovereign boss. It's here. It has been sent from very high, not in Kenya. Somebody is watching. He's a president of another country worldwide.
Yeah, you see, we said the same thing.
Seriously. And this is not even an African president. It is an African, is a prime minister of a very powerful country.
He needs to go.
I have just received it. It is here, sent at exactly. Yeah. Where is it? Where are you, bro? At exactly the 21-2. 21-2 of your time, which is 6-21, which is 6-2 of my time. Yes, just sent. He was watching this program.
Of course,
how Kenya blood, how Kenya made blah blah. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, in my summary, has Namwamba. Namwamba is a business wheel dealer for Ruto. Why does the president keep Namwamba there? These mistakes for ambassadors to come and see Ruto is Namwamba. So we self-inflicted wounds. I leave it to you Kenyans. My role is to bring such subjects that help you in the discussion of the way forward about this country. We have an issue, and tomorrow don't miss this exciting one. Professor Nyari, I'm happy you are in Nairobi. This issue of ICC, it is gonna do or die. It's the stones is tough. It is going to be tough. It is not a joke anymore. I told you, let's get rid of work envelope. People did not want to listen to me. Have you seen how work envelope is coming now? They have all the records of all the witnesses. Have you buy a newspaper called the Daily Nation? They have just sent another one. Now this time the filing document that Fatou Bensouda filed to the court are dangerous. Read them. I've read them. I'm going to sleep. Have you heard? I'm going to have one of the most beautiful sleep tonight. Because Paul was not a Jew. Paul was a Samaritan, Samaria. But when Paul tried to preach to the Jews, they asked him, who are you? Recently, you were the one persecuting us. Thanks God, I have not persecuted any Kenyan. But I'm being asked, who are you to tell us when your country is burning? My country is not burning. My country is not on the ban not to arrive Britain. Ruto has caused this country to be put on a ban, a restriction, because of bringing the Russian medicine here. Ruto is now making another blunder for the rest of Africa to hate us, to hate Kenya, because people want money from Morocco. He wants to pay money for elections from Morocco. Walai ya Mungu. If this doesn't come true, you will ask me. But the worst thing is this. Can I confess to you people here? To you, Joseph, to Douglas, to Musa, do you know what? Being a Christian is one of the most difficult practices that you can take. You find yourself at a crossroads. One, you are hated, and you hate, but you don't hate. And then you are hated. I hate the ICC. So I find myself in a very dangerous zone. with these new coming revelations, do I side with the ICC and disappear in thin air? What do I do? The man I helped never came to say thank you. Out of the 10 lepers that I healed, only one came to say thank you. I think you know that, Mr. Esonga. I want to thank His Excellency the President. At least he said thank you. Mr. President, thank you.
Very true.
Ruto never said thank you to me. Instead, he sent me messages of threatening me and the threats through his PA Farouk that they will kill me. And I have heard this. But the drama is just beginning. The tsunami is just coming. The 2022 that Ruto sings about, it might be on this. What is this thing called Visuzo? What? This
it's Viusasa.
Viusasa. I see something like that. Itakuwa Viusasa. With this type of thing, itakuwa Viusasa. Because already Karim is being challenged to declare his interest. And the woman is technically leaving the case there to make Karim be dismissed and disliked by the international community. If you don't call Ruto for cross-examination on how he was part of the conduit that eliminated the witnesses, you can't be the chief prosecutor. I rest my case. Thank you very much. 2 p.m. East African Standard Time, Musa Hadi Abdigali Magdido. This woman of the Jupiter Defense Committee is called Ghetto what? Ghetto?
Gedi.
The woman who was caught on camera doing some uncoordinated troop movement.
And she is the Deputy National Security Council now. Chairperson.
That one, they have to select a new one.
Ure kabisa. Now, Daktari, just to make my humble submission on this, is that Dr. William Ruto should be reminded that making one diplomatic relation takes decades. It takes years to make one, but it takes only minutes to destroy one. America took over 35 years to 40 years to ratify and to be a member of Paris Climate Accord, but Donald Trump removed them in just a span of 100 days. It has been happening since the formation of the Union of European States, later became known to be European Union. Britain had been a member since 1945. No, actually 1954. And then after that, there was a threat that they want to leave. But even up to now, it took them more than 70 years to form it, but it only took them one leadership of Theresa May to leave. So my humble submission and my advice to Deputy President William Ruto, matters of international relations and geopolitics is not a wheelbarrow politics. This is what we call shadow diplomacy. There is what we call building consensus in the League of Nations, as Hans Mogenthau put it in his Balance of Power, normally called BOP. So my humble submission, as far as this case is concerned, is that I take William Ruto as non-issue. He is non-party. He has no any sovereignty embodiment as far as such issue is concerned. So we should not be even taking too much time glorifying him. And my warning to William Ruto of his affiliation with Russia, Kremlin, my brother William Ruto, even if I'm a student of political science, you can't have relations with Stalin. You can't have relations with Lenin. You can't have relation with Boris Yeltsin. You can't have relation with... Don't compare yourself to Putin. Putin is a former KGB agent. When we speak about Russia, Russia is an aggressive country which is now pursuing even more above what is being happening in Crimea. That is a communist country. Russians are not in level of talking issues of, democracy and governance with you. They will install you as their leader, and they are going to kill you again as their leader. They don't care about. There is no ethics and governance in Russia. Russia is a communist state full of oligarchs. So let us not just be taken by irrational, naysayers of, destroying the relations we've built for years. And my final submission, the only way President Uhuru Kenyatta can strengthen Kenyan foreign policy in future, employ these young people. Employ the likes of Wesonga Kirimi and Adgelmas to be in the lobby group. This is the only way the lobby group can act as, they understand the system, anything happening a bit by bit, we know what will happen next. And that is the only way you can put into good use the skills and the knowledge of lobby group and its importance. And even in achieving the greater call for the state of Western Sahara. I submit.
Remarks is that for William Ruto, he has nowhere to go. At the end of the day, William Ruto is a man whose career is going to come to an end when Jubilee Party of Kenya impeaches him. And I hope immediately the government does that, we shall be safe, because he has created problems for us more than the solutions that he has provided when he is in power. Deputy President William Ruto should also desist from making statements for and behalf of government. Anything that he says it as a private citizen, and for us to effectively do that, he needs to be able to resign as a deputy president, or we shall impeach him as members of Jubilee Party through our own party, so that William Ruto can go home and make his decisions and also positions and take positions on international matters from his home. Thank you, Dr. Masanga. I submit, and thank you for having me on the show.
Okay, hallelujah. We have done our best. We have exposed what is supposed to be exposed. Those who have ears hear. Those who don't. Wesonga, have you summarized yours?
Yeah, I already gave my parting shots. And it is that we have to dismember William Ruto from government, because he is overtly giving a contrary opinion on matters which have national importance. That was my submission.
That is another good show from Diplomatic Leaks. Political Command Center in London. Honorable Prime Minister, I want to take this position to thank you for sending me a message of that nature. After listening and reading the newspaper, you just said it all. The guy is galvanizing the boss. So it is up to you, Kenyans. I leave it there as it is. Thank you very much. God bless Kenya. God bless Africa. God bless Saharawi, Western Sahara Republic. Let them get their independence. May God hold their hand. God bless you. This station is for Africa, with Africa, by Africa. Ciao. Ciao.